it is. What's going on, guys? It is another day in paradise. Actually, it's like Monday morning, you know. But so it's actually funny that this happened yesterday as well as today. Um, so like Friday night was the night that I was told that the city was shutting down the internet access somewhere between 1 and 6 in the morning for an hour to 2 hours. And I recorded the video to post online, but I didn't want to start uploading it because I was afraid that mid upload the internet would go down because I didn't know when it was supposed to go down, and so I didn't want it to fuck something up. So I just left it go, thinking, well, I'll just upload it later, at home sometime. So then I got home. I stayed up for a few extra hours because I had to go cash my check, and the bank doesn't open till 9. And by the time I went there, and then I went to the gas station and got ice cream, and got back home, and then got ready to go to bed and everything. I mean, it was like 12 o'clock. So, in other words, it was just getting later in the day, and I didn't stay up and went to bed. And I set my alarms, and then I woke up at 10 o'clock at night yesterday, day before yesterday, technically, Saturday. I woke up Saturday at 10 o'clock at night, and I was very lucky and fortunate that I woke up when I did because I work at 11, so I fortunately woke up with enough time to jump up, get ready, get my dog out, let her do what she's got to do, feed her, and then, and then leave and head to work. So, um, so when I got to work, it was busy as hell again, and I had to run around and try to upload the video um, from Saturday night's video that got uploaded. Got uploaded like right at the end of Saturday. Still was on the correct day, but still nonetheless, because I woke up late. And then I didn't know. I was so confused at why I never woke up to all my alarms, and I was like really blown away. Like, what the fuck? And turn around and come down to be that when my alarms started going off this morning, I realized that I didn't turn on the 6, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock in the evening, or in the at the nighttime alarms. I had set them for a.m. So that would make sense why I never woke up to my alarms, because none of them went off. So I went home today. I tried to make it in bed before, you know, being up all day, but of course I stayed up till about 12 again anyways, because of the fact that I had to, or I was already used to it from the day before. And I was supposed to get up at 3 to go look at a car, so I set my alarm clock for 3 o'clock. Managed to wake up, which has only been about 2.5 hours since I had fallen asleep to when the alarm went off. Uh, I was supposed to go with somebody, and I texted that person to see if they were still available to go, but they never responded back before I passed back out, which was about 15 or 20 minutes. But still, I assumed that they weren't available, so I just went back to bed. And then I woke up again today at 10 o'clock because my body was used to this day before schedule, and was not happy. Well, no, I woke up at 9 today. Um, so I actually got an hour before work, but still, I hate waking up really late for work like that. Um, I just, I like to be more awake and have more time to my morning before I have to go to work, preferably. Um, so then I finally get to work, obviously, and the guy I work with, he's in one of those transformational stages of his life or their life. I don't really know. I'm really confused. The last I was told, he was trying to become a furry, which it's really hard to say that and not laugh. I'm trying to be completely respectful about it, but it's hard because I don't understand what the fuck he thinks he's talking about. But he straight up says he can have like surgery where they can add hair to him and stuff, and I'm just weirded out by it. But anyways, so he's growing his nails really long, like really freakishly scary long, like longer than what girls will grow their nails, because again, the whole animal furriness or something. He wants long nail. I don't know. It's whatever he wants to do is fine. But he's like talking to me when I get to work about buying summer colored nail polish and stickers to accessorize his nails, and I was just like, cool, bro. Like, I don't know, obviously I did not laugh at him. And I will be very respectful when you talk to me about stuff like that. But it's still the fact of it's like I don't know how you want me to react because, you know, I'm all about you doing you, but like I don't think that's okay. Like he's he's at like telling me he's gonna get summer colors for his nail polish, and I'm just like I really don't care. Like you could tell somebody else this. That was nice and kept my mouth shut and just was, oh, cool. I just didn't care at all. And then I had these two little kids come and shake me down for batteries, twice actually, funny enough. Uh, it was very odd circumstances. I was really confused, and then I just realized that, like, I'm pretty sure the kid was just wanted batteries. I have no idea why, but uh, so these two little kids come down. Mind you not, there was an adult standing behind them. Uh, and the kid asked me for two batteries. And I said, what kind of batteries? And he goes, double A. And I said, okay. So I look him, because we did used to have a lot of double A's. But, our remotes for the room only use triple A. So we were only giving out double A's if we had them to be, like, nice. But obviously people take them and we don't replace them that often, so eventually they're out. And so this kid wants these two AA batteries, and I realized, like, okay, I'm sorry, kid, we don't actually have any more AA batteries. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, all we have left is triple. And he goes, triple what? And I was like, AAA batteries. And he goes, I'll take two of those. And I was like, they don't, they won't work. Like if are you, and he's like, I know. And I was just like, okay. So I got out two batteries and I set them down. He goes, oh, I need four. And I said, no, I can only give you two. And he goes, oh. And then as I slid them toward him, I'm like, see, they're smaller than the ones you were asking for. Are those what you need? And he goes, yeah. And he takes them, and then they just both stood there quietly for a second. And I was like, is there anything else you need? And he goes, yeah, I need two more. And I was like, kid, I'm not giving you two more. I just told you I'm only giving you two. Two per room. Oh, okay. And then they turn and they walk away. Mind you not, again, the adult stood there and never said a word. Just let these two kids, like, try to play me for batteries. So then they get in the elevator and they leave. Not even 3 minutes later, a older, but yes, still young, kid comes down to the front desk. And he goes, hi, I need two AAA batteries. And I was like, sorry, man, I'm all out of batteries. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, I just gave the last of them away. And he was like, oh, oh. And I was like, yeah, a bunch of kids came down and took all of them. And he was like, oh, really? Wow, weird. And then he goes, he gets to go back on the elevator, and the kid who originally came and asked me for batteries was standing around the corner, so I couldn't see him. And he walks up to him, he goes, did you get the batteries? And the kid goes, he says he's all out, and he's like, what? But I remember seeing more when I got some. He says, I guess he says a bunch of kids came through and got them, and the other kid was just like, oh, I didn't know there was other kids here. It was just the funny thing of, like, I totally played them for the batteries because they were trying to hustle me for batteries. Um, But then I had another smaller experience with them. This one made me mad. So uh, these kids come downstairs with the cart that we use for luggage. You know, your luggage cart. You put your luggage on it. You wheel it up to your room. You take the luggage off, and then you bring it back down. That's what you're supposed to do. Um, well, these kids come down with one that's covered in trash. It's got trash bags on it. It's got cake, um, like literal cake on the cart, uh, icing all over the place, a bunch of balloons, and they come downstairs with it. And the kid goes to the breakfast area and he opens up the trash can, thinking he's gonna fit like something in there, and realizes, oh, this is a small trash can. I've got a lot of trash. So he comes back. He walks up to the front desk and goes, "Excuse me, sir. Where would I put all this trash?" And I said, "All right, if you go out the back door right there on the right side, there's a dumpster." He was like, "Okay." So then I watch as these two kids disappear in the back hallway like they're going to go out the back, but then I never hear the door open. And it's been like 5 minutes, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm going to start eating or I'm going to heat up my dinner so I can eat it. And so I walk past the hallway to be able to get to the microwave. And when I walk past them, they're just standing there in front of the door with the cart full of trash. Assuming that they were scared to go outside, because I don't think either one of them actually ventured out the door. They just stood there. And whilst I was in the other room heating up my food, I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. And I could hear them playing out some scene. And I knew what the scene was. The scene was, oh, look, the guy's not here. Let's leave the cart full of trash in the middle of the lobby. And then we'll just grab a different cart and then go back to our room, so that way our parents think that we took the trash out like they told us to do, because we bring back a fresh brand new cart. But um but like I said, then they expected that I was going to be the adult and just throw their trash away for them. But no, this is not how we play games here. So this is what Matt did. Uh, I got done with my food. I came back into here. I set my food down. I looked at the cameras. I saw what floor they got off on. I grabbed the keys. I went up to the fourth floor, and you know, one of the rooms had a cart in front of it. Now here's the other funny part. We only have 4 carts in this hotel. One of them was missing, and then it showed up when a bunch of kids brought down a bunch of trash that they didn't want to throw away. Um, and then they stole a second one, meaning there was still only one cart missing. So when they left that brand new fresh cart sitting right in front of their room, I knew exactly what room the kids were in, or like what room was full of the trash. So what I did was I took the fresh cart that was sitting out in the hallway, wheeled it back into the elevator, brought it back downstairs, and put it back where it belongs. I took the cart full of trash back onto the elevator, upstairs, took it back to where that room was, and stuck it right there in front of them. Because nobody's going to know until the next morning when they wake up and they go out of the room, and the parents realize that the kids never actually took the trash. Now the kids are going to be confused because they're going to be like, "What the fuck? I took the trash." But then their guilty conscience is also going to know that they left it in the middle of the hallway and in the middle of the lobby, and they won't tell their parents that. So they're going to be super confused, and they're not going to have any way to explain the way out of it. Um, because all it would have taken is the 5 seconds to wheel the cart outside the door and just throw the fucking trash in the dumpster. I am not your maid. That's not why I got this job. My job is not, hey, when people bring giant carts of trash, you have to go throw it away. That's not my job description, bro. So, I took it back up there. So now it's currently sitting in front of their room upstairs, and I'm tickled pink. I'm like, yeah, stick it to the kids. Because they were the same kids that came and tried to steal the batteries as well. Um, but that's pretty much been how my night's been. Uh, 2 smaller updates that I'm just going to add to the end here before I end this video off is that I'm thinking about possibly, it depends on if, depending on how cheap I can actually get one, I might actually just go to Walmart and buy a cheap ass $20 phone and not even link it to the actual network and just merely use it for Wi-Fi and for the recording purposes of recording videos on my phone again, because as much as I love recording on my laptop, it is so much easier to record on my phone. I can do so much better in the sense that we can record not just having to sit in one spot. I can go back to recording in my truck. Um, the quality should be better. Even though this one's not horrible for being a webcam on a laptop, it's not as great as cell phones get. And if I just get a small phone, even if it's only got like 8 gigabytes of internal storage, that will still be plenty enough to be able to record a video and upload it to YouTube, which is like would be the purpose of it. I need a new phone, but the phone I really want in the sense of like the size of the internal storage is going to cost me probably like $180 to $200. I know that's not a ton of money, but for me that is more than I really have to spend at the current moment. So I'm sluggishly using a broken phone because of it's what I have, and I can't record videos on it because of the way it's broken. So that's why the laptop has been the sole video recording purpose for the last 6 months, is because my phone's been broken. And so instead of waiting many months, what could be many months from now, I do know that Walmart does sell like $20 and $30 cheap ass small storage size phones, and so I'm thinking about maybe just possibly biting the bullet and just buying one of those to at least get the videos done. Because even when I get the nicer phone, depending on maybe if the camera quality is like 10 times better, that would be the only reason why I would stop using the small phone. But then I can use the small phone for uh, putting my apps onto that I want to watch stuff on. So like HBO, Netflix, Hulu, um, Disney Plus. If I can't have those apps on my phone because again my phone's broken. So if I had them on a second phone, that would allow me to go to bed and still be able to connect those apps to my phone or to my TV at night and watch it because I have a Google Chrome stick. And that's how I watch most of my stuff as I'm going to bed. And last but not least, I don't know if it'll be today, as in Monday, because I'm gonna be tired and I don't know how I'm gonna feel here in like 8 hours to 10 hours or so. But within the next few days, um, I want to show you guys my dragon's cage. I have why can't I ever think of it when I need a bearded dragon? Okay, I've had a bearded dragon now for like 4 years, maybe going, yeah, because I got him right before I got my dog. Um, but so he's like almost 5. But actually, this Thanksgiving I think he'll be 5. Regardless, I've had this lizard for a long time, and we've had an iffy relationship with each other. Nowadays, we're all right with each other, but um, the reason bearded dragons are, in my opinion at least, are like the coolest in the sense of, well, I mean, I've only had one pet and a lizard, and that would be a bearded dragon, but they have a lot of personality to them, okay, and mine didn't like me for a while, and I don't blame him. I feared him, which is not good. Don't ever own a pet that you fear, okay? But he grew faster than I thought he was going to in the beginning. I knew that bearded dragons can live for like 40 years and they can grow quite large, if you let them, kind of thing, and they have the ability and the room to do it. Um, but he kind of just blew up, and I Had no problem handling him when he was like the size of my palm, but now it's to the point where like his tail at the bottom of my finger and his head's probably like to here. Like he just got really big quickly. And when he got big, I got this fear in me that I was like afraid to touch him, that he was gonna bite me, and and stuff like that. So because of that, I kind of mistreated him, just in my lack of knowledge of animals and how to raise a lizard. When you're afraid to touch something, but you gotta put your hand in the cage to like physically do stuff, you do things like grab objects and like wave it at it to make it run away, or you have something that you can use as a shield that you push them away from you with, but you feel like you're safe because you can move your hand over here while this is over here blocking it, and then you just don't realize, because like I said, you're using your fear, so you're thinking that what you're doing is okay, but you don't realize what you're doing is you're like torture. I was like torturing him, in the sense that he didn't know what that object was that was in the middle of his cage, and now I'm pushing him around with it. So now he's terrified. So of course he's trying to bite me because he thinks that I'm trying to hurt him every time that I'm going in my cage to get to him. And it was a lot of back and forth. I definitely got bit a few times, and we weren't happy. And I named him Grumpy. He had a different name before, but now his now new name and forever will be name is Grumpy, because he really didn't like me for a long time. And once I got over my fear and realized that I needed to approach him in a different way, because he was merely acting a way an animal would act if it was fearing for its life constantly. Every time that this big humanoid thing came to get into its cage, it like shoved it around. I'm just saying, it's just like, I wasn't really abusive. I wasn't really like hitting the thing. I'm just meaning in the general idea of, if you went out and did that to a wild animal, the motherfucker would try to bite you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now he's cool. Now we're cool. Like I said, once you realize that if you come in calmly and you try to be nice with him, now I can pet him. What I used to in the beginning, but now I can pet him again. I can get my hands around him. He just doesn't like fast movement or bright colors coming at him, which again is probably due to me and the things I used to use to deter him from coming around me, because I was always afraid of him biting me. But literally, what ended up happening was um, he did the same thing that most caged animals do, where he made the realization that, hey, every time that this humanoid, they are also really good with smells, so he knows what I smell like. And he's like, every time this one humanoid creature comes in to my cage, he always gives me food. And so I think that was our common ground of being like cool with each other, is like he stopped biting at me because he was like, he's giving me food. If I just leave him alone, he just gives me food. And then we kind of learned, and now, like I said, now we're cool and I can touch him. It's all good. But anyways, so I've been doing small little upgrades onto his cage. He lives in a 3.5 foot long by 5 feet tall wooden box that I made. It's a very cool setup. I've never actually showed it to anybody uh, before, so I was thinking that since I had to do a bit of work to it, I want to change some things up inside of it. Um, and kind of like re-secure it, because some of the wood I used was cheap and thin, so it, as the water that eventually got on it warped it. It's just not the greatest. Needs updated, fixed up, redone. So I'm just going to do some small updates slash try to figure out his river system and why it's possibly constantly leaking inside of his cage all the time, and just a few things. And I figured might as well show the YouTube world. Maybe I'll live stream whilst I do it. Chit chat, watch me fuck with my lizard's cage. Check it out. Okay, hopefully you guys like this video. If you did, a like would be much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, you should subscribe to keep up with cool, awesome content that comes out whenever I get it up in time. If you'd like to subscribe, you can just click on the circular thingy that's right over here. And if you'd like to check out the other videos from 2022 so far, you can click on this link over here. It will take you to those things. Thank you guys for spending your time with me. I will see you guys next time.